Why is my mind obsessed with thoughts of fear? Posted on May 27, 2011. Some minds can be highly obsessed with fearful thoughts to the extent of becoming intolerable. Most people who possess such minds take medications, drugs, or alcohol in a bid to find some relief from its incessant noise. If you are among the people who are in possession of a mind obsessed with negativity and fear, you might want to look at it as your ticket to true freedom or enlightenment, rather than looking at it as a curse. A highly noisy mind can be a blessing in disguise, because you cannot become attached to such a mind, and hence there's an opportunity to transcend it completely and realize the true liberation that lies beyond the mind. A mind obsessed with fear is a ticket to liberation. You have been born with such a mind. Now there is no point in asking why. In truth, everything is grace, including your noisy mind. A mind which is obsessed with fear can become the very mirror that helps you see your true nature and thus wake up from the dream of identification with the false sense of me. The first step is to accept your mind as it is and not complain about it. It's true that you have been dealt a mind which is very fearful and has a more than average preoccupation with negative thoughts. But instead of looking at it as a bad deal, it's time to look at the opportunity it brings you to transcend it completely and come back to your true nature. This noisy, fear-obsessed mind is your ticket to enlightenment. Are you willing to accept this ticket, or would you rather keep complaining about it? You can only find true peace outside the mind. When your mind is constantly obsessed with negative thoughts, it's difficult to find happiness in there. This automatically opens up an invitation to look for peace and joy outside the mind. In truth, the mind, in its wrong vision, is never a pleasant place to dwell in, but some people have tolerable minds, and hence they don't find the reason to come out of it and stay stuck in it for their entire life. To anyone who is asking, how can I feel joy when my mind is so filled with fear? The answer is simple. Go beyond the mind. Your only chance of finding peace is to transcend the mind. You can find temporary relief by taking drugs, medications, or alcohol, but permanent relief can only be obtained when you transcend such a mind. How can I transcend my mind? The only way you can transcend anything is by becoming completely familiar with its patterns. If you want to transcend your mind, you must first completely know your mind. The only way you can know the mind fully is by being acutely conscious of its patterns. Watch the mind as you would watch something intriguing with curiosity. Keep watching it till it becomes completely familiar to you, and then it will no longer be a source of fear. The mind producing thoughts is not a problem. The problem is that you fear the mind. The only way out of this fear is to see the mind so clearly and so persistently that you become totally familiar with it. The mind is not mysterious or complex. It's very limited and has only a few patterns that it operates through. Once you see through all its patterns, you will no longer be in fear of the mind, and you will feel completely free of its bondage. Don't fear the mind, just keep watching it. No matter how fearful the thoughts appear to be, just stay as a conscious witness of them. Don't try to escape the mind, but rather go deep into it. Become familiar completely with the way your mind operates. Become aware of your mind's repetitive thoughts and identify the story behind it. Get to know the ebbs and highs of your mind. Keep watching it like you would an intriguing movie. Don't make it personal. Just be a conscious witness of your mind until you no longer fear it. Who you are is pure consciousness. You are not the mind. You are not what comes and goes, but the one eternal witness which is conscious of everything transient.